is going on?
What's up?
Israel Rivera here with another edition with the Prime on Prime Sports World. I'm here with my boy Serial, Mr. Andre Crosby, big time Lions fan. And you know what, Serial? This is my favorite time of these season previews of my series because it starts the beginning of the black and blue division, baby. The black and blue division. And you know what? One of the OGs is starting it off, and that's the Detroit freaking Lions. So what's going on, Detroit? What's going on, Mr. Detroit?
What's going on with
Detroit? How do you think your Lions are going to fare? And before you go, please, everybody, like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. We're on Facebook. Okay? Go ahead and like the Prime Sports World page. Go ahead and follow our NFL Supreme Facebook group as well for fan interaction. Go ahead and subscribe to YouTube and our Twitch. And anybody who wants to join on the season previews, we always drop a link to the StreamYard in Facebook. But anyways, getting to it real quick and real early. Serial, how you think your Detroit Lions looking so far going into 2022?
Well, first off, man, I gotta shout you out, man, for doing your thing and go show my big bro some love, man. Even though he's a Packer fan, man, he's still doing his thing and he want to talk about everybody though. He's not just talking about the Packers; he talking about the Vikings, the Bears, and the Lions. So you gotta show him some respect and go see what he's talking about. But on my side, though, I'm kind of hurt about my man Williamson not being able to play till week 7. So,
Jameson Williams. He, obviously he tore his ACL in the Natty. So it was late injury. So you got to look at his timetable is going to be mid to late season. By that time, the Detroit Lions might be, they either probably gonna be like, okay, we're gonna shut them down and bring them back next year. Or we're competitive right now, and we're gonna bring them in and kind of do this thing with you and Amon-Ra and T.J. Hockenson. But I like what the Lions have done so far this season. I like what they've done so far this season. I think they're real competitive. I think they're gonna be real competitive again this year. I think they're going to win some games that they should have won last year, some close games, and I think they'll be able to surprise some people this year with their win-loss total. What's going on, Mr. David Huffman, all the way from Indiana?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Indiana, sir. And he's on the reverse side because usually David is hosting these, but today,
I just got my internet stuff hung up. I'm not even sure what my lighting looks like. I have my mic set up. So, yeah, what's up, guys? Welcome, Prime Sports World, baby. What's up, Serial? and I hear what you're saying, Izzy, about the Detroit Lions, but you're just wrong. They're not going to be – they'll be competitive, but they're not going to win a lot of games.
I think they win more games than the Vikings and the Bears.
No way.
Yeah.
Zero chance.
First of all, sir, can I ask y'all what makes y'all think the Vikings are going to be so competitive when they have a whole new coaching staff?
They still have Justin Jefferson. They still have Adam Thielen. They still have Dalvin Cook. I know their defense is kind of meh, but their offense should put up a lot of points. Kirk Cousins is an underrated quarterback with a underrated offensive line. That's what offense is going to put up points. If their defense can stop any, they're going to be fine. The Bears is I'm not sure about the Bears. They could they could for real be the worst team in this division.
Yeah, the Bears.
Yeah, it's possible.
The Bears, I think, are actually going to be the worst team in this division. I think the Lions are going to be a little bit better than them. I think the offensive line is more solidified than them, at least, at the tackle positions, at the center position, definitely. They have
I mean, Detroit has an underrated offensive line as it is. I mean, they have Frank Ragnow, who's the highest paid center in the league. They have their two tackles that are both really good. Taylor Decker and Penny
Sewell coming into a second season.
And their guards are good, and they have an up and coming wide receiving core.
Jonah Jackson, we got a couple.
Rob, St. Brown, Jameson.
I like
Williams.
St.
They
Brown.
added, So we'll get to that.
I think Detroit will be competitive. I think we'll have a lot of the same things as last season. They'll win some games here and there, but they'll lose a lot of games. They're gonna have like 8 wins, maybe 7 wins.
That's on the best. That's on like the positive note, right?
I'll take 8 for sure.
But yeah, Detroit's gonna be fun this season. I mean,
they'll be fun to watch. They'll be fun to watch.
I think Dan Campbell has more. I don't think Dan Campbell wants to come out and I think he wants to try to prove something. You feel me? Just from winning 3 games last season.
I mean, I would hope so, right?
just so we don't get on the hot seat.
Anyways, let's move on to their storylines as we see. So going right into Dan Campbell expectations. Year 2 under Dan Campbell. Serial just mentioned they won 3 games last season. So what are your guys' expectations for Dan Campbell this year in the Detroit Lions?
Well, realistically, they're not a Super Bowl contender. I don't even think they're really a playoff contender. What I want to see if I'm a Detroit Lions fan out of this team every single night is a team that plays hard for their coach and achieves more than you would expect. So, if they go in 7 games, they win 6 games this season, I think that would be a real big victory. Because the one thing that Dan Campbell runs the risk of is being that rah-rah guy. Eventually, being that rah-rah guy kind of runs its course if you don't win a lot. So this is a team that needs to just play hard and continue to improve week to week. I think Jared Goff's probably going to be the quarterback for a little while. So yeah,
no, he's not going to be the quarterback here. By the way, you're talking, sir. But we'll let you keep going.
I mean, he's under contract at least till next season. I mean, you might as well just roll with him for 1
This is his last season, sir.
I don't think so.
It is his last season, sir. By the way, you're talking, sir. Yes, sir.
So we have to excuse some of the Lions fan here because he's very highly defensive here about his team. Okay, and you can see that, and you can feel it. Anyways, year 2 under Dan Campbell. I think we kind of touched on it already. I think they're going to be a competitive team. David is 100% correct. The rah-rah stuff, we saw that with Joe Judge in New York. That stuff only lasted so long. Right before the team stopped really playing for him, you have to learn. You have to know your X's and O's. And Dan Campbell's a really high-spirited, competitive individual, and it rubs off on his team. And I don't think he's like Joe Judge. I think Dan Campbell has a little bit more in him than Joe Judge has. But I do think it's not just Dan Campbell. I just think that the team around him, that they're starting to form a base, right? You got a good offensive line. You got a good little group of running backs with DeAndre Swift and Williams and the boys. You got a good wide receiver core, a veteran quarterback, and the defense is improving. I mean, they can only improve. They were 29th last year ranked. So I think, the expectations under Dan Campbell, win more than 3 games.
Yep.
Okay? Win more than 3 games, and I think his expectations doubled that win total. So I think with upstairs, what they want to see is they want to see Dan Campbell at least win 6 or 7 games. We've given you, the picks. We've given you the weaponry on the outside with Amon-Ra, with Jameson Williams, even though he's not going to play probably this year or maybe in the middle of the season. But we give you DJ Shark. We've given you guys, tools to be successful. And so we just want you to double your win total, be competitive, and win 6 or 7 football games. Be better than the Bears, because I think they have a better roster than the Bears, in my opinion. But
I think it's close.
It's close. It's close. It's closer
than it should be.
By a smidgen. What do you think, Serial? The Detroit Lions fan over there.
Dan Campbell has to keep us in some of them close games, and I think it was like 6 or 7 close games we only lost by a field goal. I feel like if we pick, like I said, I agree with you guys, 6 or 7 wins. I want 8 or 9. That's what I'm at. I want, but I agree with 6 or 7. I feel like Dan Campbell would still be on the hot seat even if he wins 6 or 7 games. I don't know.
No, I totally disagree.
Not at all.
You know how the scores are.
I think he'd be okay.
I think he'd be okay. He's not. He won't be on the hot seat if he doesn't win more than 6 or 7 games. I think some of the Lions fans' expectations. I'm in a lot of these groups, and some of the Lions fans are expecting them to win 10 to 12 games. I'm like, there's no way they're winning 10 to 12 games. So sorry about that, but yeah, there's no way they're winning 10 to 12 games. But anyways, going on to the next storyline. Is who have the better season, DeAndre Swift or Amon-Ra St. Brown? Both young talents. Amon-Ra St. Brown really came on last year as a rookie wide receiver, especially at the end of the year. Asserted himself as the number 1 guy there in Detroit.
Amon-Ra St. Brown last season, 90 catches for 912 yards and 5 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift, 617 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. He also punched in 452 yards in the air with 2 touchdowns. He also missed 4 games due to injury.
Whew. So on the trajectory of 1,000 and 1,000 yards probably rushing, and probably about 600 or 700 yards receiving. I mean, that's good for a possible Pro Bowl nod right there. I think DeAndre Swift has all the talent in the world to be one of the best, better running backs in this league, dual threat running backs, more balanced running backs. And we see that a lot in the league now, like the Alvin Kamara's, the Christian McCaffrey's whenever he's healthy. But your running backs, godly, Aaron Jones from the Packers, he's a top 10 running back because he can catch the ball out the backfield. We see a lot of these guys that can really do both. And you really have to be successful in the league, in my opinion. So, if I'm gonna have to pick who's gonna have the better season, I'm gonna go Amon-Ra St. Brown, just because of I don't like DeAndre Swift's I don't like his injury history.
Yeah, two ACLs in college, missed a bunch of time in last season with a back injury or a hamstring or something.
I don't like his injury history, and I just think he's got to prove himself that he can actually withstand a whole 17. I mean, godly, at least play 14 games. At least play, 14 to 15 games. I mean, you can miss 2 games or 3 games. I mean, we saw him a little. I mean, he missed how many games? You said, David, 4. He missed.
He missed 3. He missed 3 games his rookie season. He missed 4 games last season.
4 games, so that's 7 games already total in his career that he's missed. So we want to see DeAndre Swift at least play 15 games, get 1,000 yards. He has all the talent. I think he can get 1,000 yards this season. I think he can get 1,000 yards rushing. Why not? Right? Underrated offensive line.
I think underrated offensive line. I actually think the answer is DeAndre Swift. And if you play in fantasy, like many people that watch this show do. DeAndre Swift is somebody that, like, if he's there and like in the 2nd or 3rd round, like I think he was like a top 5 running back before he got hurt last season. Like they use him all over the place. They use it, especially in PPR leagues. I think the answer is clearly is DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift is an excellent football player. Like he just is. He is an excellent football player. And it's nothing against Amon St. Brown. It's nothing against him. It's just I just think DeAndre Swift's going to have the better season between the two.
Yeah, and I kind of figured, and we lost Serial. I don't know if he's coming back or not. He was on the phone, but anyways, we'll go ahead. Honestly, I just think that like I said, he's got to prove his injury history, that he can stay healthy, and also when I look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, like I said, man, he asserted himself as the number 1 wide receiver. We'll see what happens, in the next year or 2 when Jameson Williams. I think Jameson Williams can actually possibly overtake him because he has all the physical gifts as the number 1 wide receiver.
I mean, you don't trade up, 18 spots for somebody to be your number 2. Like whenever Jameson Williams, which he won't be this season, whenever he decides he's ready to play football, he's going to be their number 1 wide receiver.
And I expect Amon-Ra St. Brown to take that next step. 90 catches over 900 yards. I expect him to have, around that same amount of catches, but I expect him to have, at least 1,200 receiving yards and 8 to 10 touchdowns this season. I think that'll be ideal for me for Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I don't think he gets to 1,200, but because think about how much yards that is. That's 1,200. That's a crazy amount. I think if he gets 1,100, I think that'd be a successful season for him.
Yeah, well, I'm godly, bro. I'm 100 off, David. I'm
I mean,
100
that's a
off.
lot, man.
Okay?
1,200 yards is like a big, like 1,200 yards is like a different threshold completely, dude. It's like,
Yeah. You can say that. You can say that. You can say that.
like,
Okay, so after touching that, let's move on to the next storyline, and that's Jeff Okudah, who was their number 3 pick from Ohio State a
correct.
couple years ago. And he just can't stay healthy or on the field for his life.
Played 9 games his rookie season. Played 1 last season.
Yeah. And
1.
he last season he ruptured his Achilles tendon in the season opener against San Francisco. So, do you think Jeff Okudah can stay healthy and how would he fare? How is he going to fare this year against the competition?
I don't know. I mean, for the Achilles is such a difficult injury to come back from, as you know, as somebody who is injured your Achilles, so you know that it's a difficult injury to return from, especially as a cornerback who's doing a lot of backpedaling, a lot of cutting, a lot of like shifting around. I'm pretty concerned about his ability to stay healthy and being able to play corner at the NFL. I think he may have to switch to safety before he gets into his 5th season. Like I think the Achilles injury is it's not a good sign at all for a cornerback who does a lot of backpedaling, who pushes off a lot on his foot and ankles. Yeah, I mean, this secondary is in trouble as it is, anyways.
Yeah,
because you look at it.
Yeah, we'll get to the depth chart. Yeah, the secondary is definitely in trouble. It's a well below average secondary. I mean,
they did get a steal in Deshaun Elliott, who I think is a good football player, but yeah, like this is I don't think he can stay healthy. I think he's going to go down. His injury is riddled. One pretty big bust when it's all said and done.
Yeah, top 3 pick. I mean, he was an amazing college football player, but he just can't stay healthy in the pros. And honestly, they're expecting him to be the number 1 corner. They're expecting him to lock down the number 1 wide receiver on the other side. And I just don't think he's had enough reps, and it's by his 3rd season to even be considered to do that. And I don't think he's been healthy enough to even keep up with some of the better guys in the league that he's gonna have to face this season. So I do think I'm gonna pray that he's healthy, but I don't think he's gonna be as effective.
I mean, I'm not wishing bad blood on the guy. Like, I don't get it twisted. Like, I want all the best for the guy, but I have very big time concerns about his ability to play corner going forward because of the Achilles tear. And I think this defense is going to struggle next season.
And here, welcome to the show. We got Al, the Viking fan.
What's up, Al?
Hey, what's going on, man? PSW, man. Shout out, Izzy. Shout out, my God. I forgot your name, but no disrespect.
David
on point, baby.
David on point, baby.
Yeah. Prom Sports World. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, get a page you like, do everything you do. I always support the groups. Y'all say what was the topic?
The topic is, can Jeff Okudah finally stay healthy this year?
Do you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Can Jeff Okudah stay healthy this year?
I'll tell you, he's not a shutdown corner, bro.
We know that.
And with him not being a shutdown corner, I feel like the man can't stay. If he is healthy, even if he was healthy, say the man played 14 out of 17 games, the man is not going to produce. See, the thing with the Lions is, and we talking about the Lions, correct?
Yes, sir. This is the Lions show.
So what about the Lions? Just like they get mad at us, like, oh, y'all gave us 2 picks. We was helping out the homies. But what I'm saying is, even with the Lions getting what they got, even in this past draft, and even with Okudah, even with Swift, even with with Goff, like the whole line setup is set up to be good. But it's like, Rome wasn't, I guess Rome came down in one day, but wasn't built in Rome one day. You get what I'm saying? So, so with that being said, like you got Lion fans out here talking about 7 wins, 8 wins, this and that.
No, 12 wins. 12 wins.
Please.
I don't know. Y'all got some others. Y'all got some Adam Scheffner sources or something. I don't know. Well, I ain't heard that. But
anyways,
what I'm saying though, I'm gonna just keep it blunt. No, hell no. Okudah's trash. Swift trash the whole line, and I'm not just like
He's
bashing the
being a homer
Lions.
at this
I'm
point.
just being
It
like,
does feel
no,
like that.
The Lions do this, but the Lions do this every year. They get good picks because they finish at the bottom, and then with their good picks, they do nothing with them. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
He ain't wrong. The man's not wrong.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong with that. You know,
Matthew Stafford, first overall pick. Megatron, like second overall that draft. That never did anything with them.
Man.
Like,
yeah,
Swift,
no,
first
no.
round
We
draft
could
pick.
go further.
Okuda, first round draft
speaking
pick.
of the Lions draft,
We could go Charles Rogers. We could go Joey Harrington. We could keep going. The list goes on and on and on and on about Lions picks that haven't done a goddamn thing in the league. They wasted Barry Sanders' career. They wasted Megatron's career. They almost wasted Matthew Stafford's career before he woke up and said, "Let me go to LA and go win me something." And the first year,
speaking of the draft,
okay. Hey, Israel, may I speak? Okay, the last best running back the Lions had.
Reggie Bush.
Was Reggie Bush.
Okay then.
I get what you're saying. Moving on, because we got to move on to the draft, to their actual draft, and that was a good segue, Alvin, heading into the draft. They had, in my opinion, in my estimation, they had a good draft. First round pick, Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan, and they had 2 first round picks. They've traded up. David said, how many picks they traded up? David, 15. 18 picks. They traded up 18 picks to go get Jameson Williams, who they highly coveted out of Alabama. They went and got, in round 3, they went and got the hard-hitting safety, rangy safety, and Kirby Joseph out of Illinois. He's probably one of the better safeties in college football. I think he's actually going to pan out really well for them. And then the 5th round pick, James Mitchell, tight end out of Virginia Tech, round 6. Malcolm Rodriguez, linebacker out of Oklahoma State, who was a 3-time captain for Oklahoma State, and he was 5th in his career, 5th in the last 3 years in the FBS in total tackles. So, and that was a big need for them, is getting linebacker or inside linebacker. So Malcolm Rodriguez fills the need. And then round 6, they get James Houston, another linebacker out of Jackson State. Shout out to the HBCUs. And then on round 7, they get Chase Lucas, who's probably going to be a practice squad player out of Arizona State. Didn't really, is what it is. Those 7 round picks, if they can pan out, they pan out. If they don't, they don't. They're rest. What do you think about this draft, David?
So here's the thing. The reason that the Detroit Lions didn't have a draft pick in the 2nd round or the 4th round is because they traded them away to move up 20 picks to take James Williams in the 1st round at number 12. The Detroit Lions are not one wide receiver away from being competitive. They should not have made that trade.
No.
This is a team that needed to take as many punches at the shot at it as they could, and you can't trade away a 2nd round pick because that's a starter. And you can't trade to a 4th round pick because it's a borderline starter. For a guy James Williams, who's very talented, yes, he's not going to play for you this season.
Probably not.
Yeah. And I don't really like the fact that they could have gotten Sky Moore in the 2nd round. He was still there when they had their 2nd round pick. I love the Aiden Hutchinson pick. He falls in your lap. I'm not a fan at all of trading up for James Williams. I don't like it. It's a bad decision.
James Williams. Me neither.
The rest of the draft, I think, was fine.
Yeah, the rest of the draft was fine. Kirby Joseph, I like what they got with value out of Malcolm Rodriguez. Yes, I totally agree. When they traded up for Jameson Williams, I said, man, I loved him at Alabama, but when he was at Ohio State, he was the 4th best wide receiver on the team. That's why he had to trade. That's why he had to transfer to Alabama.
Yeah, he wasn't better than any of the guys that came in the last 2 draft classes, and that's why he transferred away.
And no, any wasn't better than the guy that got there now. And
Agba, whatever his name is.
He's going to be Smith the Jugba.
He's going to be a top 10 pick next season.
Yeah, so he's going to be a top 10 pick. So Jameson Williams transferred to Alabama and showed out in his one lone year. And so he had one good year in college football, tears his ACL in the Natty, and then they trade up 20 picks to get him when they could have got, they could have tackled, got a solid linebacker and like maybe Nakobe Dean. They could have got, some cornerback help, a good cornerback probably in the 4th round or even in the 2nd round, and they could have got that 4th rounder and got another solid linebacker there. Even though I think Malcolm Rodriguez is going to be good, he's got a lot of Blake Martinez in him, in my opinion. So, the Lions, I'd have to give this draft class, I'd have to give it like a B- because I think
B-.
That's extremely generous. I'm going C plus. I don't
Man,
like.
I'm going a fucking D. I'm going a D. And may I state why I said D? Okay, Izzy, you got through telling me about this fucking bum that transferred to Alabama.
Try to watch the language, buddy. We don't want to get in trouble with Facebook.
Oh no, we good. This is, believe me, we know, and I apologize, but you're talking about this guy that transferred to Alabama that wanted to be a star. That's why he went to Alabama. Okay, yes, he became a first round draft pick, but you're honestly gonna tell me that this receiver is fit to do something in the league? And then when I wipe myself down, I'm looking at the last previous drafts. No, I'm dead. Now, come on, you got, hey, you got to be serious, man. Facebook is watching.
I know.
But you got to be serious, man. The Lions done had more picks than anybody in the last generation, and still can't get it together. I'm not here to bash the Lions. I'm out of Viking fan. All I'm saying is, I represent PSW and I watch it and I pay attention. Y'all doing a hell of a job, but I'm just saying, if we talking about the Lions, let's be realistic. Like, we cannot sit here and say, all right, right now, I'm giving you right now my analogy: 5 wins. 5 wins. Even on that draft class, if we talking about that draft class is not legit. Them first two, now Hutchinson, he legit. He's legit, yeah, but absolutely. What is they? How is they gonna use him in the system?
You know, honestly, Dave, Alvin, I would have actually, if they would have kept the second round pick, they could have got Hutchinson's running mate and David Ojabo.
The brother, what's his name? What's the brother?
Yeah, David Ojabo. Yeah, I like that. That would have been
I would have respected that more by getting Ojabo, knowing that Ojabo is going to sit out a whole season, but knowing he's going to come back the next year healthy. And Ojabo with Hutchinson,
he's coming from an Achilles tear. I mean, he's coming off an Achilles tear too. I mean, who knows what he's going to be when he comes back.
So, anyways, I got to give that draft class a B minus. David gets us a C plus. Alvin doesn't like it and he gives it a D. Moving forward to the free agency roster shakeup, they added. These are the main additions that they added. DJ Shark from Jackson.
Oh shit! It looks like we just lost him. They had DJ Shark, wide receiver out of Jacksonville. Mike Hughes, cornerback, previously with the Cincinnati Chiefs last season. Chris Board. Oh man, I don't remember what position he plays. Let me give you just a second. Chris Board is a linebacker with the Baltimore Ravens. Deshaun Elliott, safety, previous with the Baltimore Ravens, and Jared Davis, previous with the New York Jets. I think he was drafted by the Lions, actually, Jared Davis. Previously with the Jets, comes back to Detroit. Main departures out of that team. We have Jalen Reeves-Maven and Dean Marlowe. They did not have a lot of people that left this team. They also didn't have that many notable free agent signings. I do like the G.J. Clark signing. Everything else is just depth.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, and so thanks, David, for picking that up. Everything else is just depth. In my opinion, I did like the DJ Shark. He's a good number 2 guy. Next to Amon-Ra St. Brown. So right now, Quintez Cephas, we don't even know what Quintez Cephas is going to be. He's going into year 3. He still hasn't really, popped or anything like that.
Hold up. How many interceptions he got?
Quintez Cephas is a wide receiver.
Yeah.
How many receptions he got?
He's been hurt most of his career. He has not really, but he has the prototypical size and the prototypical length, and he's got the 40 time that you're looking for.
All right, David, give it to me raw, man. Give me Lions record, man. Give it to me raw.
So he's 6'1", 208. He went to Wisconsin.
No, I'm not talking about David.
All right, we'll get into it.
Okay.
Well, be patient, my friend. The schedule is next.
The schedule's next. We'll get into the schedule. Okay. You can talk all the trash you want about them on the schedule. We just want to shake up their roster. This is what we do. Free agency. We'll talk about the free agency.
I can dig it. Shout out PSW. Shout out PSW.
Yeah. So anyways, like he was saying, Quintez Cephas has been injured pretty much most of his career. Josh Reynolds is the
journeyman wide receiver.
LA Ram.
Played with Jared Goff in LA. Was decent after he got released by the Rams and signed by the Detroit Lions after midseason. Played pretty well.
Yep. Yeah, played pretty well with Jared Goff. So that's why they got him from Tennessee. And so, and then when I look at a guy like Mike Hughes, veteran cornerback that they desperately needed, I don't know how much of a difference he's gonna make. I don't think he moves the needle in the defensive backfield.
No,
But
sure.
they're 29th on defense. They're probably going to be 28th or 27th. No, I would say no. You know what? With Aiden Hutchinson rushing the passer, I'd probably move them up a couple more slots because they'll gain a little bit more of a pass.
I'm telling you right now, 29, 30. If you're gonna sit here and tell me that just because Hutchinson comes in as a rookie, he's gonna cause damage out the gate.
No, you're right. Actually, 29th. I expect them to stay in between 27 and 29th on defense. I expect them to be a little bit better on offense.
The only way they take a substantial jump is if Jeffrey Okudah becomes what they drafted him to be. Otherwise, they're going to be a train wreck.
Yeah,
you talking about the boy from what, Georgia?
Ohio State.
Jeffrey Okudah from Ohio State. They drafted.
Oh yeah, okay. Now, but what I'm saying still. I ain't worried about him. He's a bust. I'm telling you right now.
It's a little early to call him a bust, but
he's a bust.
Let's be a little fair.
David, we'll get there. We'll get there. But let me ask Israel this. We
did not mention. I think, David, did you forget in terms of their golly, I didn't mention that they drafted Josh Pascal from we didn't have it on the slides. That they drafted Josh Pascal from Kentucky as well.
All right. I mean, I pulled that from a website. I just copy and paste it.
Josh Pascal from Kentucky's another pass rusher that's on. He's a big body pass rusher. But he's not going to be a needle mover. He's going to be a depth guy. But anyways,
Pro Football Talk, which is provided by Embassy Sports, just straight up didn't have him on the list. It's all right.
That's so crazy. Anyways, but when I look at the free agency class, I'm gonna have to give it a C. I mean, it's a pretty average free agency class. I mean, besides DJ Shark and besides the Mike Hughes signing, it's and Deshaun Elliott's pretty good safety as well. I like that.
Kind of a steal for the amount of money they're going to pay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna have to give them like a C plus because they just really. I mean, none of these guys are gonna be needle movers in my opinion.
I mean, they brought back a bunch of their own guys too. Alex Anzalone came back. Josh Reynolds they re-signed. They re-signed Tracy Walker. They re-signed Cleve Raymond. They re-signed Tom Boyle for some reason. That guy continues to be in the NFL. Tim Boyle, sorry. The guy threw more picks than touchdowns in college and still made it to the NFL. It doesn't make any sense.
But David, you got to understand that's the league. But half the people that Izzy is naming off is practice squad players.
Yeah, they're not needle movers. That's damn sure, definitely for sure. Let's get into the schedule. Let's get the trash talking.
Let's roll.
Let's get the trash talking rolling because I know that's what Alvin's here for. He's here to talk trash about these dang Detroit Lions because he's a Viking fan. Okay, so we know week 1 at home, the Detroit Lions welcome in Jalen Hurts and the gang from Philadelphia. Who you guys got winning and why?
Give me the Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts has a virtuoso here.
Yes. He used my word. Jalen Hurts does have a virtuoso. Jalen Hurts has a really good game, but I also think everybody else has a good game. I think that defense has a good game.
Welcome to the show, Mr. David Henderson.
What's up, everybody?
Please put your headphones in and connect them to your source. We can hear all the background. I'm talking to David Henderson. So we're picking up all your background noise. Please connect some sort of earbuds. Anyways, Philadelphia. Al, what you got going on? What you got in Philadelphia?
I'm riding with Motor City. I'm riding with Motor City, man.
You're riding with the after all that trash talk he's been talking.
Hey, David, give me a heads up.
You're riding with the Motor City against one of the better NFC East teams, probably the best NFC East team.
You want me to tell you? Can I tell you why?
He's going to be talking all this stuff the entire show, and then he's going to have the Lions win in like 12 games.
Watch.
Oh my God.
He's not going to have them sweep the Vikings. Riding with the Motor City. What are you talking about?
Can I tell you why?
Go ahead. Can't wait.
Don't throw stones at me. Throw the bread. Can I say why?
Yeah, go. Yeah, the floor is yours, my friend.
Because that piece of team, SILTSHIT, that team,
That piece of shit.
they garbage. So you got to give them
You could've
something.
said
When they're
POS.
running on all cylinders, week 1, I give them that. Now we go week 4, week 5, they getting beat down. They done for the season. Detroit gonna give you 1 quarter of the season. That's it. Hey, let's go to the next game. I got them winning week 1.
Detroit winning based off of the fact that Detroit's gonna give you 1.
Mr. Henderson, welcome to the show, man. Yeah, we cannot hear that echo now. Welcome back into the show, man. Yeah, we were getting really bad feedback.
I just wanted to say, first off, the Vikings are going to get swept by the Lions this year. That's all I wanted to say right off the bat. So go ahead, keep talking.
Anyways, let's move on to the next game.
Move on to the next game. Washington and Carson Wentz come in to Detroit again. They and play the Detroit Lions. Who do you guys got winning that game?
Yeah, I'll roll with the Washington Commanders, which I still hate that name. It's just trash. I just think Carson Wentz. I think that offense will be too much with Traylon Burks and all the other weapons that they have on there. Give me the Washington football team.
The Washington Commanders, not the Washington football team.
It's a trash name. It's not good. They should have stayed.
The other David Henderson. Who do you got winning? Washington
they spent 3 years.
Washington. Exactly why you said what you said. I agree. I don't think right now the Lions can compete with them offensively. Just overall, I don't like a lot of the pickups they had in the offseason. I thought some of the free agents were so. I mean, they had a pretty good draft, but free agent wise, I'm not a big DJ Shark, fan. I don't think he's really that good. But anyways, Washington, I have Washington beating them. But I think eventually they're going to get a couple of wins here and there. But yeah, Washington. Whatever you want to call them, the Commanders, the formerly known as the other team. Yeah, Commandos.
All right, Al, who do you got winning that game?
I'm running with Motor City.
Motors, they're 2-0 in Al's book. They're 0-2 in my book. They lose that game. And then week 3.
Motor City.
Then week 3.
Look, this is why I'm rolling with Motor City. Because they're going to win the first game and they're going to be already, Swift going to think he's somebody. Okuda going to think he's somebody. And they're going to try to jail. But week 3, they step into who?
Week 3, they step into your Minnesota Vikings in Minneapolis.
US Bank Stadium, baby.
US Bank Stadium.
Yeah, all right.
Who do you got winning that game and why?
Yeah, all right. Let's roll.
We already know his answer, David.
Second, Minnesota.
Lions in the blowout.
Minnesota.
On the way down.
I think that not having one of the worst secondaries against the best passing offenses in the league is not a recipe for success. Give me the Vikings winning big and easy.
I think this year, I think they split with the Vikings like they did last year, and they win at home against the Vikings down later on in the season, just like how they did last season. Next week,
we ain't even got to that game yet. We're going one
game. We'll get to it. The following week 4, Seattle comes into town and goes up against the Detroit Lions. Who do you guys got winning and why?
Well, first of all, I had the Vikings actually winning that game. Seattle, I think you could actually pull off a win against Seattle, so I have the Lions winning their first game of the season.
So you got the Lions winning the first game of the season. I absolutely have the Lions winning this game at home against Seattle. I think Seattle is even worse situation than Detroit is, and I think Detroit gets off the 3-game snide that they're on to start the season, and they get their first win against Seattle at home.
Preaching to the choir, baby. Give me Detroit Lions. I think, Seattle is probably the worst built team in the NFL right now.
Yep. Alvin?
No, I got Seattle beating Detroit.
All right.
Okay. All right.
and then week 5, they go into Foxborough and play the New England Patriots. Who do you guys got winning? Do you have Detroit, 2-game win streak here? What? What's going on?
Sweep it.
Sweep. Yeah. Detroit.
What is David laughing about?
Yeah, Detroit's going to go into Foxborough and get smacked. They're not going to win a 2-game win streak. I don't think Detroit wins 2 games in a row at all this season.
They have a legitimate shot at those games against Chicago and New York Giants back to back. They could legitimately do that.
Yeah,
maybe, possibly.
It could be the Jets and Carolina, both those teams on the road as well.
Whew. We'll see. Possibly, maybe. We'll see.
Actually, I think they will do that. So
you think so? You think they'll win 2 games in a row down like against one of those?
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll get to that. We'll get to it. And then going into their week 6, they got to bye a week. And then week 7 they come out
against New England though. Against New England. What about New England?
We already won against New England.
Yeah, they lose.
You ain't even asked me.
I did. Oh, go ahead. Who wins?
Detroit.
That's what I'm talking about, man. He's got Detroit at 3-2.
You didn't ask me, bro.
Hey, he's got Detroit with 3 wins this season so far. 3-2.
No, I got him going into New England, winning their first 2 games, losing to the Vikings, losing to Seattle. That makes them 2-2. They're going in 3-2 against New England. They're gonna walk out
3-2
New England
for him going into the bye. I got him going into the bye at 1-4, and then after the bye, they got to go into Jerry's World and go play with the best offenses in the league, the best offense last season in the league, in the Dallas Cowboys. Who do you guys got?
Give me the Cowboys.
Dallas.
Give me the Cowboys. I hate to say that. Ugh.
Yeah, I do too.
Cowboys. But yeah, Detroit loses to Dallas. Dallas is a much better team and on the road. But I think I don't even think that game will be close. But I said they'll have some competitive games. That is not going to be one of them. What's going on, Alvin?
Give me Motor City.
4-2. Hey, you know what? I like this. He talked all this trash.
I know.
The Lions the whole show, and then it comes down to the schedule, and he's picking the Lions left and right. This is amazing. 4-2 for Alvin. I got him at 1-5, and then going into that, I believe that's a week 7. Is it no week 8? Week 8 game against Miami. This is at home. Who do you guys got?
Miami. I got him at 1-5.
I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to actually say I still don't believe in their quarterback situation. I still don't believe in the Dolphins. I'm going to go Detroit. I'm going to say Detroit actually pulls out a win. I'm not really a believer in Miami yet. I'm not a really believer in their offense. I think it's going to be closer than what people think. I don't think Miami is as good as people think they are. And in that division, they might end up 3rd in that division. So,
well, my thing is, who's going to stop Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle?
I mean, if you don't believe in the situation, the Miami Dolphins quarterback situation, what do you think about the Lions quarterback situation?
Well, I tell you one thing, as much as we give shit Goff, I would pick Goff over Tua. I mean, I'm sorry, but Tua's.
Closer than it should be.
Tua's not really
because Goff has been healthier in his career, hasn't really been injured, and Goff has actually won a Super Bowl. I mean, has been to a Super Bowl. Sorry, been to a Super Bowl. So yeah, has been to a Super Bowl. So you would actually want to pick Goff head over heels over Tua, but it's kind of close, right? So yeah, I got Miami going in there. They just have too much speed, and then on defense, they have 2 of the better corners in the league. Locking guys down on either side. They're gonna, give Miami. They're gonna give Detroit some fits. Give me Miami to win that Week 8 matchup, and then Week 9, Green Bay comes into
Week
town.
8, damn, is you gonna ask me? Or you gonna?
I forgot. Go ahead. Who do you got winning that game?
Damn, I got Motor City, man.
Oh my gosh, Alvin's got Alvin's got the Detroit Lions at 5, and he's got the Detroit Lions at 6-2.
Yeah, because now we just get into the meat of the schedule. So
6-2. He's got him at 6-2. All right. And
I don't. I got him at 5-2.
Is it 5-2? Let me see.
5-2.
Yeah, 5-2. And then Week 9, and then And then Week 9, Green Bay comes into town and plays and goes up against Detroit. Who do you guys got?
Beats the fuck out of Detroit.
Oh my God. PG, son, PG. We got
Green Bay.
I'm sorry.
They will beat them up.
Dog walk. The Packers gonna dog walk them.
The Packers gonna dog walk them. Yes, absolutely. The Packers are gonna dog walk them, and it ain't even gonna be close.
We in the
Detroit
meat
loses
of the
this game.
schedule.
Who do you got, David?
Green Bay. Come on, be serious.
Green Bay. Oh, yeah, sweep it. Anyways, and then week 10 they go into Chicago and play the Chicago Bears in Soldier Field. Who do you guys got?
I'll take the Bears. I just think that these two teams are going to split their home and home series. I think both these teams are going to kind of stink. But yeah, give me the Bears to win this game. By the way, my laptop's about to die in a second, so just a heads up. I don't have the cable. I forgot to bring it.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good, David. It's all good. Anyways, who do you got? Packer fan, David?
I'll try to dump it on my phone.
So I actually got, you guys are going to be surprised. I actually think the Bears get swept this year by the Lions, and I think the Lions finish ahead of Chicago because I just don't think Chicago has a good offense. I think Chicago is terrible, and I know Detroit can match them, obviously, as bad as they are. But I just don't see their offense being good this year. I think Chicago loses both games against Detroit.
I am actually going to agree with you, and I think they do sweep Chicago this year. I think they're better than Chicago this year, and I got them picking up their second win of the season on the road against Chicago.
Got their third.
Who do you got, Al?
I got the Chicago Bears sweeping the Detroit Lions because the Chicago Bears are going to be in the basement. That's automatic. But the only reason Detroit will be higher than them because they will have more NFC wins over the Chicago Bears, which will put them higher. Other than that, when it comes down to conference, the Chicago Bears, yes, Chicago, the girl, the Arlington Heights Bears, the Harlingen Heights Bears, or whatever. They gon'. I'm telling you right now, all the Viking fans said they're gonna be in the basement this year. Detroit Lions will finish over them. That's it. Let's roll. We getting into the meat of the schedule.
Anyways, and then week 11 they stay on the road and they go into New MetLife Stadium and face those New York Football Giants. Who do you guys got winning that game?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Just because I don't like the quarterback situation. I never liked the Giants quarterback situation, although, he is.
Who is that quarterback?
Daniel Jones. I'll take the Giants. I'll take the Lions to win this game. I agree with David Henderson. I don't think the quarterback situation for the Giants is all that good, and I don't think their team's all that good either. So
no, I think if you got Saquon, playing well, I mean, if you're handing it off to him most of the game and he's able to have a good game, maybe. But I have the Lions actually winning this game. But it's still, like I said, it's close because to me their offense is both stink except for Saquon for the Giants when he's healthy. But I have the Lions winning another game. I think it's their fourth of the year.
I got them having their second win. And before my laptop dies, I'm just going to riddle through this real quick. They lose to Buffalo. They beat Jacksonville. They lose to Minnesota. They beat the Jets, Carolina. They lose to Chicago, and they lose to Green Bay. So I have them at 5-12.
5-12. Woo!
But yeah, my laptop's going to die. So I will be back on the prime tomorrow back at my home in Chicago. So I'll be able to run my show normally. But Izzy, enjoy the rest of the show, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Salute, Peace out, guys.
Hey, go Pack before you go.
Peace out, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go, bro.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Golly, moving on to the next game. They played the Buffalo. I actually have them losing to the New York. I actually have them losing to the New York Giants on the road.
I got them. I have them losing to the Giants too. I just want to put that in too.
Yeah, I got them losing to the Giants on the road. So that right now, that puts them, in my opinion, at 2-8.
5 and something.
Okay,
right?
yeah, that puts them at 2-8 in my book on the season so far. Going into that week, I believe that is going to be week 12 versus Buffalo. And they go on. They stay at home for 3 games straight here. So week 12 versus Buffalo, who do you guys got?
Buffalo. Buffalo is just too much for them. Buffalo is going to be too much for them.
Too much.
The Bills are going to be one of the best teams in the I got Buffalo in a. It's going to probably be a blowout.
Out of there in Detroit.
Yep, they're in Detroit.
I'll give Detroit that game.
In
I give
Detroit.
you because Detroit they're going that because they done lost the last 3 weeks. They due for a win.
And then week 13, they welcome in the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who do you
Oh,
guys got winning that game against the Lions? The
come on,
Lions and the
Izzy.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Come on, Izzy.
I'm
Come on.
actually I'm actually gonna go with the Jacksonville I'm actually gonna go with the
Oh
Detroit
my
Lions beating the
God.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
I am
I think
too.
other than Seattle, Jacksonville is probably worse. It's probably just as bad as Seattle, even though it's supposed to be a little bit better. They're just as bad as Seattle and not as good as Detroit. So give me Detroit winning at home against Jacksonville.
Same. I don't think Jacksonville is just a terrible overall team right now. They're a mess, and they're definitely rebuilding. So I have the Lions winning another game. I think that's their. I think I got them at 5 wins this year so
I
far.
got them at
So
3 wins so far. So I got them at 3-9.
David, you got them
This is
like
week
me,
13.
Henderson, about 5, 6 wins.
yep,
Yeah, this is
I got
week
them all.
13. And then week 14, they welcome in the 3-game homes, the last game of the 3-game homestand, the Minnesota Vikings. Who do you guys got winning that game? I am gonna go first, and I'm gonna pick the Detroit Lions to win and beat Minnesota at home this year. And they split with Minnesota this year. Yeah.
I have Minnesota winning. I think Chicago's the only team they sweep this year. I think Minnesota is a better team than they are, and I think they're going to be fighting Green Bay, obviously, for the division. I think Minnesota's got too much. They just got too much in offense to compete. With the Vikings, it's going to be tough. I think the Lions right now are kind of. I don't want to say they're scraping for wins, but they're slowly getting better. But I don't think this is the year where they'll split with them. I think you give them another year or so. I think then they're going to be a little bit more competitive with Green Bay and Minnesota. But I think this year the Vikings sweep them.
Yeah, I get what David's saying, and I'm gonna piggyback off of it. I'm not sugarcoating it, but like you said, it's too much firepower in Minnesota. To think, no, you got to remember, keep in mind, we swept the Lions for 5, 6 years in a row. You know what I'm saying? If anything, they got lucky when they got a win. You know, it's the same. They get lucky when they get a win against Green Bay. We don't get lucky. We play ball with Green Bay. You know, it ain't even about the North. Like we talking about the Lions, but at the same token, I see the Lions that game losing to Minnesota and getting swept. And if
Uh,
we win, if we win that second game, it'd be 21-17, something like that. And I ain't gonna say we're gonna beat them down, but it'll be a hard
Yeah,
fought battle.
I'm
I
actually
I will agree. I will agree, Alvin. I mean, I think it's going to be competitive because I think the Lions are going to they're going to have a fight this year. They're not going to be rolling over even against Green Bay. I think they're gonna have a fight. It's not going to be like we're whooping them, 45-3. But
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
they're gonna be, they're gonna be in the game,
A decent team.
but they're not going to be able to do enough to get over. They won't be able to score enough points to get over on Minnesota and
Correct.
Green Bay. They won't be able to do enough. They won't have enough firepower. They'll stay in it
Correct.
maybe defensively, but then it'll just be too much towards the end, and they'll end up losing by 10 to 14 points. It's
Correct.
Mhm. And I know I said that they might win, they might not win back-to-back games here, but the more I'm going to go ahead and change my whole mindset on that one. The more I look at the schedule, the more I look at the end of the year schedule for them, it gets a little easier. They play some teams that I don't think are going to be rosters better. I think some of these teams are possibly going to be banged up. I don't think these teams are going to be as talented as Detroit. So I'm gonna go with Detroit beating Minnesota, winning back-to-back games, and then the next week they go back on the road for the next 2 games against the New York Jets and the Carolina Panthers. Do they win both of those games, or split, or lose both of those games?
I think they beat both of them. I think the Jets are getting better, but I think they're still one of those teams who are a little shaky. Um, I think that could go either way, though. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets beat them. So they could possibly lose to the Jets, but and then Carolina, I think Carolina's kind of a mess too. They can't stay consistently healthy at all. Their quarterback situation's always been kind of a who's who.
Well, they have Baker.
I'm gonna go with a split.
Yeah, I know, but
I say they really. I don't even want to go to split. I say they lose both games. They're gonna lose to the Jets. I'll say they'll lose to the Jets. You know what I'm saying? And then they're gonna lose to Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. So I have them beating the New York Jets, and they have a 3-game win streak. But I think that when they go to Carolina, I think that they lose to Carolina. Excuse me, they lose to Carolina and Baker Mayfield. But that predicates on the fact that Christian McCaffrey is going to be healthy. Because I think if Christian McCaffrey's healthy, the Carolina Panthers could stay somewhat competitive. They have.
I'm not to cut you off, Israel, but name the last time that guy was healthy. He ain't been healthy since Stanford. He ain't been healthy since Stanford, bro.
It's really been since his rookie season. Really been since his rookie season.
Baker Mayfield he's been up and down, and so is Carolina.
Baker is not up and down. How are you going to sit here and say Baker's up and down when
he's been up and down? Look at his stats.
Hold up, Dave. Okay, Dave. Okay, Dave. Let me talk though, Dave.
Which is the reason why.
Give me the mic, Dave.
No,
listen,
hold on. Which is the reason why.
One at a time, guys.
If Cleveland was so confident in Baker Mayfield, they would have never pulled the trigger on getting another quarterback. If they were so confident in Baker, they would have never pulled the trigger. They pulled the trigger because they said, you know what? We don't believe Baker can consistently be our quarterback, be consistent at the quarterback situation in Cleveland. And that's how Carolina's been, up and down with the quarterback situation. There was last year, they relied on Cam again, and they tried to beg Cam to come back. It's up and down. Their offense has been the same way. They can't stay healthy. It's either their running back's always injured, or they're kind of inconsistent on having an actual set of receivers can actually catch the ball. So I don't believe in them.
Al's turn. Go ahead, Al.
Okay. Okay. Who was Baker's backup quarterback?
Who's the backup for Cleveland?
Godly. Who was his backup?
Who was Baker's backup quarterback?
Tyrod Taylor?
Yeah.
No. It was Case Keenum. Okay. And then what Cleveland didn't want to do, and let me put you up on game, Mr. Henderson, is what Cleveland didn't want to do is they didn't want to pick up Mayfield motherfucking rookie track. He was going on his 4th year. They had faith in him. They didn't want to pay Baker. Is you forgetting about Baker taking them to the goddamn playoffs? Is you forgetting about the backfield with Hunt that beat down his kids from Kansas City that got on? Come on, bruh. And the wide receivers that they done put together, are you forgetting about that, Henderson? You can't sit here and tell me the man that took the flag and stuck that in Ohio State, Baker Mayfield, you can't say trash, bruh. He gonna be the starter in Carolina. And what he did for Cleveland just didn't pick up his option. That was the only reason he out of there. Tell me I'm wrong.
So is he who's their third quarterback right now?
Who?
Cleveland.
Godly. I'm gonna have to look at the depth chart here.
You can't say Watson because you don't even know. Okay, Google.
No, I got it. The third quarterback right now is Josh Dobbs.
Who is their 3 quarterbacks in the roster right now? And who was the first? Who was the guy that
Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson. So if they were so confident in Cleveland, why did they go get a troubled guy named Deshaun Watson, who was right now.
You don't even know nothing.
No. He's got legal troubles right now. They know exactly where he's at right now and know that they were going to be dealing with that right now. They decided to get Deshaun Watson.
Dude is bigger than me.
Over Baker Mayfield. No, over Baker Mayfield, who was this guy who won them a playoff game. They decided to go reach for him instead of sticking with him. Yeah, but and they got a guy who basically has been out the entire most of the year because of his legal bullshit.
So hold up. Are you asking me? Hold up, David. Are you asking me? David, I'm asking you. David, hold up, David. I'm asking you. Are you telling me why they didn't keep Baker Mayfield and why they go get Deshaun Watson? Are you asking me that?
Deshaun Watson. A troubled Deshaun Watson. My point is they got a troubled Deshaun Watson who they obviously believed in more than Baker Mayfield, who won them these playoff games. There's a reason why they didn't go with Baker Mayfield. They didn't want Baker back. They didn't want Baker back.
That's a personality. David.
Baker Mayfield is not consistent. He's not a consistent quarterback. Go look up his stats.
Let's get back on track. We've been talking too much about Baker Mayfield. This is about the Detroit Lions. Baker's on Carolina now. All of that Detroit, we could save that for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, I got them winning against I got them winning against the Jets and Carolina. Hey, they gonna lose both games.
I got right now Detroit 5-9. That's 14 games. They're going into
shout
the
out
last
PSW. Shout out PSW.
I actually have them losing to Carolina, so they're 5-10 so far on the season, going into their last two games. And their last home game, they welcome in the Chicago Bears. They welcome in the Chicago Bears.
Oh, that nigga's a 33.
Fuck with Bradley, bro.
They welcome in the Chicago Bears, who I believe will beat the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions will sweep the Chicago Bears, and that will be the last win of the season before they go on the road to Green Bay and they lose to Green Bay in Green Bay. And so they end the season, in my opinion, 6-11, and they double the win total from last year. Dan Campbell doubles his win total, and that's a successful year for the Detroit Lions, in my opinion.
I think I got them at 7 or 8 wins, I believe.
They could have. I think there's a couple games that are going to be close. The New York Giants game is going to be close. The Carolina Panthers game is going to be close. The Miami Dolphins game, I think, is going to be close. And I think both Minnesota games are going to be close. So they have a potential to win 8-9 games if they can find a way to win some of those close games. I don't think so. I got them at 6 wins, 6-11. That's a successful season for Dan Campbell. They're trending in the right direction. They doubled their win total from last season, 6 wins, and then his third season is a season in which you're hoping that they can crack, 8 to 9 wins, and then in his fourth season possibly make the playoffs. Third season possibly make the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think I have them all close to that. I have them almost at that 500 kind of mark. So I have them all about 7 or 8 wins. I think they finish third in the division above Chicago. I think Chicago still got a lot offensively to prove. And it's not even just because of that, too. I think it's because I think Detroit had some winnable games in there. So that also helped them out. It's not saying that, you could equally go offensively, these teams, and go Chicago and Detroit kind of are offensively they're not the greatest. Mm-hmm. But Detroit had the advantage of playing some really winnable games on their schedule. So that helped them. And, it'll help them build towards next year because now they can go into the next season, the 2023 season, build up on the draft, build up on the free agency, get better. I think they got to get better offensively. I think they got to get, receivers.
I think
they got to get a main receiver. I don't think Shark's the answer to go along with St. Brown. I think they need a.
Well, that's why they drafted. That's why they went up 20 spots to get Jameson Williams from Alabama.
Yeah, well, I think he's there, but I think they still needed to add. I mean, for me, Izzy, as a Packer fan, we get as many. We're spoiled. We've had a lot of wide receivers, so I think the more wide receivers you have in the roster, the more you have competition to fight for those roster spots. And even if they don't end up making it as a number one, number two, or number three receiver, they're still special teams.
If
So,
they can, if they can, I honestly think they, if 6 and 10 gets them in the top 10 of the draft, right? 6 and 10 they're on the bottom half of the league. It gets them in the top 10 in the draft, and I think they do go after a guy like Jackson Smith and the Jugba from Ohio State, or they go get one of those 3 or 4 top quarterbacks, whether that's CJ Stroud, whether that's Chase guy, what's his name? The kid from Alabama.
yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyways, and then Will Levis from Kentucky, and then you got the kid from Florida as well, and then you still got Spencer Rattler in there as well. So I think that Detroit has a lot of options after they and I'm talking about Bryce Young. I'm so sorry, Bryce Young. Everybody are the top 2 quarterbacks probably to come out the draft this year, and then the Florida quarterback I'm talking about is gonna be Anthony Richardson, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think you got some guys that they can go after at the quarterback in that top 10. Will Levis is the Kentucky guy that I'm talking about as well, in the top 10. But I think they going with a guy like Jackson Smith and Jugba is a good deal. But I honestly think that they need to continue to build their defense. They need to continue to stockpile DBs. I think they need to get as much talent as they can in the back end, because that's where their weakness is on defense. So anyways, this has been the Detroit Lions season preview. Thanks for coming on, David. Thanks for coming on, David On Point, our regular normal host, normally, and he'll be back talking about the Chicago Bears tomorrow. We'll come back with that season preview.
Are you jumping on tomorrow, Izzy?
You said what, David?
Are you jumping on tomorrow?
Oh yeah, I'm on every day. I'm on every day. So I'll be here in my normal spot. Letting David host the show here. As taking over for the Bears. And I'm sure TJ will be on there. It's just me against those 2 Bears fans again.
No. Because if I'm off this weekend, Izzy, so you message me and let me know, because if we're talking about the Bears tomorrow, man, I can't wait till I predict them on the bottom of the schedule. I probably got them at 3 wins.
So definitely it'll be a treat. And like I said, everybody go like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We're on YouTube. If you missed us, you can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And here at Prime Sports World, we bring the heat, ladies and gentlemen, 24/7. Every day, coming with the heat, with the Prime. And I want to thank everybody that joined the show today. And we'll be back tomorrow covering the Chicago Bears. Everybody have a nice night, and drink responsibly. It's Thirsty Thursday, college students. Drink responsibly and go get them Uber. Go call them Uber.
And then we're going to go Paco, Izzy.
And hey. And I always said this: when you're drinking, drink responsibly, and also, lifestyle. No, hold on, no. Trojans are always your best friend, okay? And that wasn't an advertising. That wasn't a marketing ploy. I was just being real with you guys. Anyways, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
Go Pack, go.